you wanna see which is better, to greed or to base. In this scenario, it's better to greed. Why do you think that is? Right? We should assess that our team is about to play downtime. We should just assess that because, again, this guy's low, this guy's low, this guy wants to base. These guys are not actually on the same line as you yet. They can't actually pressure yet. Just come here and do some camps. Wait for these guys. These guys come back up. You join with them on that line. You're essentially just waiting for these guys to come back. So you're farming right now. You're farming, and then boom, you come in and ult here because you're playing uptime again.
For sure. Okay, that's a very visual way to see it.
Yeah.
Like seeing them all clumped up there.
Are you tired of being stuck at the same rank every season? Ready to join a community of like-minded junglers with proven results? The Jungle Academy is the ultimate resource to fast-track your potential, already having helped hundreds of players just like you achieve their ranked goals. Gain access to daily group VOD reviews run by a selection of challenger coaches like myself, champion guides, coaching VOD libraries, and much more. Not to mention an entire community of active players, including our expert coaches, happy to answer any questions and provide guidance throughout your journey, saving you hours of time and energy. So, what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description below and join today.
Because we have limited time, I don't want to try and like brush over everything. I'd prefer to like hone in, for example, your first like few clears. Or I'd like to hone in on the mid game, what we want to try and do in the mid game.
I think the mid game might be better because the early game is something that I can kind of review in like my own time just by looking at other people's clears.
Yep.
But the mid game decision making is something that's a little bit harder to go through.
So let's go to like 14 minutes because that's generally when like mid game begins. All right, cool. Because you want to know when to farm and when to group, right? Those are the two main like topics of interest. When to farm, when to group, and always having an objective in mind. Those are the three things you're going to think about, okay? So here, what is the objective we have in mind?
So looking at it right now, I'm not sure what I'm thinking in this moment, but drag is the thing that I'm looking at, like when I hold tab.
Yes, and it's spawning in 50 seconds, right? We need to think about basing very soon. Our ult is also in 70 seconds. So we kind of want this dragon to be like stalled a little bit if possible, right? For our ult. So here, what kind of things would you be thinking?
Right, so I have a lot of gold, first of all, so I would probably just take, like, I can see myself pathing down to Raptors, so I'd probably just take Raptors real quick, because the clear's relatively fast right now.
Yep.
Back, and then head straight to drag, and maybe ping my allies to
follow
through.
Yep, good. So always have an objective in mind. This will stop you from, I think you said something about, you know, like just floating around or anything like that. Doing Krugs as well is actually fine. You don't have to be there like, okay, depending on what dragon it is. Like second dragon is squishy, okay? It's like, it can die very quickly. Third dragon is tanky. Okay, you just gotta remember that. Third dragon will take the enemies quite a while to actually kill. Second is squishy. First is squishy, but the first dragon people have like not many items, right?
No way.
Yeah, I think you should have based like after Raptors, but this is still fine. Okay, so your ult is in 20 seconds. It's gonna be up by the time we kind of get established around this dragon. Now with Fiddlesticks, it's very, very important that you you know, you have that team fight, right? That element of surprise coming in from an angle where that can win you the team fight. So is this like a start dragon situation? What do you think?
Right now, I'm just kind of hovering around this control ward and waiting for them to like go and try to start the dragon.
Yes,
and then once they start the dragon,
yep,
waiting for my Nautilus to do something because Veigar's right there. Veigar's like strong right now. So also sweeping the edge of the drag pit there.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, this is really nice. You're getting, so this is a very big fundamental of Fiddlesticks that you want to find these angles to ult from. So there's always going to be two ways you can look at it. You can look at it like you're the one just starting it and then you're ulting over this wall onto them. Okay, that's you can do that. You can start the dragon and just ult. You see this wall here? Same as how you're looking here. It just depends on like the lead up to it of like who has control. But generally, yeah, you don't want to get caught. You want to stay hidden. That's like rule number one of Fiddlesticks. You want to stay hidden. So yeah, like I said, you can stay hidden here, right, behind this wall. But it's very important that you get that engage off. Okay, so we killed Poppy for free. That's good. That's great. Now we should definitely be thinking about the dragon. Yep. Following up on some team stuff. Yeah, perfect Fiddlesticks situation. Wow, Fiddle's OP.
Right?
He's destroyed them. Okay, great. So this is actually going to really get us into the mid game now, which is like, what do we do after like these dragons and what do we do when our ult is down? So right here is where you should be thinking, what do I want to do next?
walk topside because there is a scuttle topside, and I can like farm my camps at like topside and probably like clear down towards bot, and then maybe they'll start respawning.
Cool.
That's
Okay,
my
yeah.
initial-
So you're coming up with like a farm plan. The main thing that you want to think here is like, usually after you make a play, you're going to have something called downtime, which is exactly what you're saying. Farm, like cross mid, farm, and then you're waiting for your ult to come back up. You can like get this as well. I mean, you could check his camps as well. This is also something that you want to try and do, but he's alive now. So yeah. Okay, yeah,
recall
this is
that
fine
there-
too.
I'm- that.
So now we're just going to full clear the top. Remember, we don't really care about like what side we're pathing to anymore. If anything, we want to path towards the next objective and when our ult's coming up again, right? So you see how like when your team here, so usually there's going to be two things we can do when this happens. Base, spend gold, or greed, okay? Base, which is valuing tempo, which is going to mean we're coming out with our team at the same time, right? Like you see how your Jinx and your Nautilus space here? You see how Naut spacing? Now Jinx like bases as well after this. You wanna see which is better, to greed or to base. In this scenario, it's better to greed. Why do you think that is? Even though you have 1300
Probably
gold.
close to another item because I think I have amplifying tome.
Close to another,
Amplifying-
yes, but close to another something else. You're close to something else. That's better.
Not certain.
Camps. So if you're here, right, and you need to run all the way here to get the next piece of farm, it's not really worth it compared to just basing and spending gold and taking this
you
gate
get the
out.
speed boost, you get the home guard.
Right, yeah. So for tempo, it's not really worth to do that. However, if you're doing this dragon and you know that your red is spawning in 10 seconds and you kind of know what your raptor spawn is as well, this becomes way better to greed and just not care about your gold
Right.
because it's just
I
more
think that's
efficient.
what I do here too.
Yeah, this is really good. So then the reason why you're allowed to farm right now is because people are getting like set up. People are basing and getting ready to set up. So you always want to either
The enemy seems to walk back to lane.
yeah, you're getting ready for uptime, okay? And I'll show you what uptime looks like now. So uptime is like after these raptors, right? We should not go to Krugs.
Yeah, I think I do go to Crux.
Yeah, and I see you doing that. Why do you think I'm saying that?
I see that people are on the map. I can see where enemies are on the map, and also, I think that's Herald up right
Yes, yes.
now. And I also have a significant amount of gold, so maybe recall and then start walking up towards Herald.
Okay,
So I
why
don't have to walk all the way from Krugs to.
why do you
my
think
next
I'm
camps.
why do you think I'm going to tell you not like recalling is bad? Recalling and going to Krugs are both bad, and there's a
Oh,
big
my ult's
reason
up
for
in
that.
3 seconds.
What was
My
that,
ult's
sorry?
up in 3 seconds.
Yes. So, just like how I'm going to show you an example of uptime, which we just had. Okay, so this right here is uptime. Okay, because look at everyone's kind of like what I like to call them is like tempo lines, but you can just see like everyone's ready here to fight, right? Everyone's kind of on this line. Everyone is up. This is why it's called uptime, because you don't really want to force plays, right? But you want to make this play because you have ult, you're strong, you want to contest the dragon, right? Is this the same here then? So now this is downtime. You see how people are recalling? This is the time for you to either recall or farm your camps. Okay? You got to choose one. You can't do both. Or you shouldn't do both. You shouldn't farm your camps and then recall, because what will happen then if you do that?
It doesn't mess up your tempo.
It messes up your team's uptime. Look, your team wants to fight. They're ready to go again, right? But you want to base. But you're actually ready to go as well because you've ult. So where should we be right now? After Raptors, we should go take the scuttle and take this.
Right, and also another thing is I am ahead like significantly already even before I recall. So they just all died. They don't even have like the same amount of items or like even levels that I do. So I'm still strong enough to fight. I have full HP. I'm not going to be low on mana. So I am ready to fight.
You are ready to fight, yes. They technically like could have spent more gold since they died here, right? The main point though is that in this game, you can afford to be greedy. Sometimes you shouldn't be too greedy, right? That just comes down to before. The decision is not about like, the decision here is like, okay, if you have like 3k gold right now, of course you should base, correct?
Right, because that's the whole item.
That's like too much. That's like gonna change like the outcome. That is worth more than taking these two camps. But then after you base it with 3k gold, where are you running? Are you running to these camps?
Right, you're going to try and go fight something or go take
You're gonna play
objective.
uptime, right? You're gonna go here and here and here. Yeah, exactly. You get it. So it's one or the other, base and value tempo and greed. But both of them equal the same outcome here, which is you coming here and playing for this and this and this. You also want to be in proximity of the play. You want to be in proximity to this Aatrox here. You want to be in proximity of your mid. What's Krug's proximity to? It's only proximity to Jinx. And Jinx is kind of just trolling.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So uptime, downtime. Let's have another look at what downtime looks like and how this affects your game here, doing Krugs instead. Boom. You see?
They're all on it.
We should be, I mean, Nautilus should be here too, right? So if we do go this way, what should we do? We should ping our entire team to come do this. Get the scuttle. And then we should fight here again because we're way stronger than the enemy. But since we're here...
force the fight because we're stronger.
Since we're here, I mean, maybe our Nautilus... Yeah, exactly. Since we're here, maybe our Nautilus is doing this in compensation for you. But this just slowed down the game immensely, right? What we're doing right now.
Right.
Like, we should already be finished. We should be finished this, or we should kill them here. We should be rifting mid, rifting top, taking top side camps. There's so much to do here compared to these
and down
Krugs.
here, I'm kind of just bumbling around.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. You're just bumbling around here. Okay, some things end up working out. So let's view now. We're about to hit what? This usually happens after an uptime. There's always a downtime. Although sometimes people... Okay, see Nautilus is basing again. Aatrox is TPing actually, so he's playing like uptime fast, right? And Jinx has nothing to do after this.
Be more aggressive. He's trying to be as aggressive as possible and probably play for that tier 2 turret.
Yeah, but we can't really follow this, to be honest, right now, right? Like him TPing here is... You also have to understand like when your team is like not really doing the right plays either. But here, we should actually just stay now in uptime. Do you see this now? Everyone's on these like uptime lines. We should actually just stay for the camps now. So let's keep staying because it's still uptime now. Aatrox TP'd. Why is it...
That was an accident, by the way. This ult right here was completely accidental.
It's okay, it's okay. Let me tell you about this Aatrox. This Aatrox pressuring this tower here. The reason why we don't want to just base right now, okay, is because we want to try to use this...
right?
We want to try and use his pressure. If he is pressuring this top tower and they send 3 people to kill him, what does that mean for the game?
It means there's less pressure on other locations in the map.
And you should use that even if you have 2k gold here to take camps. If they send 4 people here, what happens top?
Then he gets the turret.
Potentially, yeah, exactly.
Kill them.
Yep, good.
Now another thing is, like, you know what? I've completely forgot what I'm gonna say. Never mind. Continue.
This is a good time to base because this is downtime, and you have 2k gold. So you know if you had bot side camps here again, probably not worth this time to take them because you have an item and some.
Right.
Okay, so you probably could have based after the dragon because you already had Malignance, which is a pretty big spike, right? So good, base. But then we go straight to uptime. However, here, this is an uptime where your team's inting, okay? This is a time, look, you were Nautilus base, right? But your team, instead of playing downtime, they continued playing uptime, which what happened then?
I'm pretty sure the Veigar dies.
Yeah, they got caught, right? You can see here, this guy's getting caught, this guy's getting caught. You don't have ult. So even though we were about to play uptime in a perfect world, of course, the perfect world's never going to happen in solo queue, so you need to adapt. What should we do now that our team is all getting caught?
Go farm.
Go farm. Yeah, just have downtime. Because when people are dead...
Which is what I did.
Yep. When people are dead... This is fine. This is fine. Okay, you see, this is fine because you're playing... You need to watch the fight though. So you see when you're coming out of base and you're like tabbing and you're not really like focused.
Right.
You should be... Camera should be here because you're trying to analyze... Do I join this fight or are they already dead and I should just do my camps? Very important you analyze this here because they could be winning or could win even if you don't have ult to go play uptime here again.
Okay.
Right? So if they're winning, you go here. You take these camps, you play uptime. If they're losing, you play downtime because losing means that they're dead and they're back in base here. So you shouldn't invade here if they're dead, obviously. And now this isn't like black or white, right? The uptime, downtime, but it's a very good guide as you can see.
Right. I understand.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I was looking for, like kind of like a framework that I can kind of base things on rather than an exact thing. Also, this Jhin just inted.
So let's look at a few more uptime, downtime scenarios.
Rocket belt. Kill him here.
Yeah. See, for example, this timer is like, it's not uptime. I mean, it is downtime, but you can take his camps because they're dead. So this is the time where like, yes, it is downtime, and downtime either means base or farm your camps, but you can also farm enemy camps too.
So is that what people are referring to when they say like turns? Like when you're...
That is what people... Yeah, uptime, downtime is turns. Like you just had your turn here, your team just had their turn. Now, again, you can see the trend. Nautilus bases. Veigar needs to base as well, because you can see here, right? He's about to base as well. So
Yeah,
you
the
used
mana-
up your turn here. So you now need to now be careful here. This is a time where you can't stay because that turn has been
I am pretty
used.
sure I die here.
Yep. So you tried to play uptime. Look at your team's, this is like what I like to call tempo lines. Look at all your team's tempo lines.
Everyone's scattered and
You know that
kind
line
of
that we drew before?
outside of.
It's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
It's not like you pushing this wave or even like pressuring here at all is going to gain anything here because no one can make use of your pressure. Even though you're not
it's better
pressuring
just
anything
go
right
back to
now,
farm.
right? They can't actually even use it. It's not like if they go for you here, they can take this or take this because no one is available to.
Prepared for that. Right.
Whereas like if Jinx was pushing this tower here and this guy had already based and Nautilus was somewhere here as well, you dying
would've
here
been
could
our
just be
turn.
like a tower trade or your team could get this, even though your death is still obviously bad. You see what I mean? That's the
Would've been
idea.
better.
Yeah, it's like you can at least trade something. Okay, but in this case, what do you trade? Nothing, because you can't trade anything. So what should we have done instead here? After the Krugs, we should actually, right? We should assess that our team is about to play downtime. We should just assess that because, again, this guy's low, this guy's low, this guy wants to base. These guys are not actually on the same line as you yet. They can't actually pressure yet. Just come here and do some camps. Wait for these guys. These guys come back up. You join with them on that line. You're essentially just waiting for these guys to come back. So you're farming right now. You're farming, and then boom, you come in and ult here because you're playing
That would have
uptime again.
changed for sure. Okay, that's a very visual way to see it.
Yeah.
Like seeing them all clumped up there, you know.
I mean, this
thinking
happened
about
because you
where I
got caught, but like these things can happen anyway. It's just about knowing when is good for you to farm or when is good when you want. Again, the same thing here. Like let's say you're doing blue here and your team starts fighting. You still want to move your
I can
camera
see that.
and be like, is this a good fight? Okay, let me go here and ult here and then GG. Or, oh, they
And I
just
can
got
turn
wiped
back over.
instantly. Okay, let me just continue my full clear. It's downtime still.
Right. Okay,
Okay.
that's very, very clear.